So, dude, I'm always at work. So the first thing you need to know about trucking, okay, is you're always going to be at work. It doesn't matter if you run local, regional, dedicated. I'm doing like, I guess, dedicated and regional because we do go from California to Nevada, but it's just Northern California to Northern Nevada. And, if I wasn't running as hard as I am, I'd be able to turn that around in one day and go home every day. But I stay out during the week to make more money. And yeah, I'm making way more money now that, that video that I did talk about how I was going to quit trucking. I did that when I was working right here at JB Hunt. And that's because I just wasn't running that hard. Now that I'm running harder, yeah, the money is a lot better. Um, I'm paying off debt. But you know what? I'm on the phone with my homeboy, and he's telling me pretty much how he just, I guess it's kind of cringy to say it, but living his best life. I guess the guy that sounds so fucking lame. That sounds so gay. Living his best life. Like, okay, so I'm 32, going on 33. I don't want to like say the shit that the youngsters are saying to try to act like I'm their age because I'm definitely not their age. And as a matter of fact, I'm kind of proud that I'm not their age because I kind of think that their shit is kind of lame compared to our shit. Like I was born in 92. But yeah, so that was just a random rant. But my homies all, doing the shit that I'd be doing if I was right there with them. Um, Going on dates all the time, having all these women over at the house, like just, going out, having fun, just living his life, man. Just a young single dude, just kind of having the time of his life. And me and him are the same age. And he's telling me this shit. He's telling me this shit, right? And then this is like one of my really good friends right here. You know, if you, that's a part of this conversation, guys. Good friends don't always come around. So if you have a good friend in your life, keep that person close. Check in on them and just, let them know that you're there. And hey, time to time, let them know, let them know that you love them because you never know when they're not going to be here. And like I said, dude, good friends sometimes will be a lot better to you than your actual family sometimes. I mean, a lot of the time, right? So, anyways, getting off topic, right? Um, every time he asks me, like he's giving me the rundown of his day, like, oh man, I was hanging out with this bride, and she came over, and tomorrow night I got this one coming over, and we're gonna go out to dinner and all that, and just having a really good time, right? He's a real good dude, and like he's not just like a player; he's actually just a really good dude, right? That's why he's able to date all these chicks because he's not like some piece of shit. That's why he's like my good friend because he's just a really good guy, right? And then he asked me what I'm doing. And I'm always just like, yeah, I'm at work, man. Oh, just driving the truck. He's out here like doing his thing. And like I said, dude, if I was living with him like I did before, I'd be right there with him, because we were. And fucking, that's trucking right there. That's trucking, dude. You're always at work, right? You need to understand that about this job. This job will take over your life if you let it right now because I am being more aggressive towards paying off debt. Like, for example, I think either this week or next week, I'm gonna pay off $1,000. Just bam, just a whole $1,000 going to my last phone carrier on the device that I still owe on, and I paid what, probably like 12 or 1300 before that for devices that I bought for me and my mom. I didn't buy them because I was making payments, but I was starting to see, hold on, dude, AT&T, and I got all these devices that I'm making payments. Dude, my phone bill was like $345 a month for two lines, plus our smartwatches. Most of that was because I was doing these stupid ass installment plans because we wanted to have the newest iPhone. So I was like, you know what, mom? We're going back to Metro. I cannot afford this shit. I'm gonna pay off our devices. Then after that, I got two more credit cards I got to pay off. I'll be in the clear. I got a car, yeah, and I could sell that and pay off the remaining balance. But you see what I'm doing? I'm like being aggressive towards paying off debt. So because of that, I'm uh I'm here at work. You know, I'm not like going on dates and going out and shit like that. I'm here at work. I'm running real hard. I'm trying to make as much money as I can, and you know, right now it's really busy. For some reason, it's gotten really busy right here at my job, right? And if you become a truck driver, especially you guys that are over the road, you're going to be doing this shit too. And another way that trucking can ruin your life is not just obviously your physical health, it's also, which is just as important as your mental health, right? Trucking attracts the type of person that is really antisocial, and it's not just dudes. I know I make fun of like a lot of the trolls and even just truckers in general. I make fun of them and call them antisocial losers, and I make fun of you guys all the time, right? And it's all fun and games. But honestly, I've met quite a few women truckers, like lady truckers out here that I've gotten to know in the past and met and tried to date. And when you get to know them, a lot of them, you realize that they're just as bad as the guys out here, right? I don't know if, like I said, if this job attracts someone that wants to go like move out in the middle of nowhere and just be left alone or whatever. That's definitely not me. I'm a very extroverted type of person. I love going out, talking to people, um, just going out to a bar, telling a woman she looks really beautiful, and just starting a conversation and shooting the shit with strangers, right? Like I'm that type of dude. Like I'm an extrovert. I'm very, very extroverted, right? I don't drink a lot, but when I do drink, like I'm a 10 times just extrovert. You know what I mean? Um, and when you're a trucker, obviously, like I said, I don't drink a lot, but you definitely can't drink pretty much at all, especially if you work all the time, because you can't drink the night before you go to work. You got to be sober. I think it's like 24 to 48 hours before you get behind the wheel of a commercial vehicle, right? Because if you get into an accident and they run your blood and they see that you drank 24 or 48 hours before, you get locked up. Like you won't just get charged; they will put you in cuffs right there. And so, pretty much, to be a truck driver is this: you got to be clean and sober, which is a good thing, right? I'm all for sobriety, even off alcohol. I'm all for sobriety, right? You're better off just sober, right, in life in general, and that's a good thing. With or without trucking, that's good, right? But you're always at work, you know, and you're always by yourself. I think this is why a lot of truck drivers are starting YouTube channels. I don't know if you guys have noticed just all these new trucking YouTube channels, and it's pretty much just guys and gals in their trucks, like my dumbass just talking on camera about trucking. It's sometimes just about nothing, right? Why are we doing this? Because we're fucking bored. Like my homie dude, he's out, you know, having a night on the town all the time, going out with all these ladies, bringing them home, hanging out with his friends, just, you know, living the life that, I should be living right now, right? But because this is what I chose, like this is the career path, the skill, the trade that I chose to make money, and what it entails is me pretty much always being at work. I guess the upside to it is that us truckers, as long as you're like out of debt, you know what I mean? You don't have like consumer debt like me. I don't have too much, but like I said, I'm going to be real aggressive. Like my plan is to be debt free by August, right? Like consumer, like credit cards, AT&T. I'm going to finish that off next week, right? So I could finish it by like what? By the end of June, really. I could be in the clear. So it's still going to be summer, so I'll still be able to make money. So I guess because truckers, we do make good money when we're busy and the weather's good. We can run hard, but like I am right now, work hard, play hard. Don't just drive your truck and not have a social life. Guys, you need to put yourself out there. You know, like I said, I've met quite a few of these like lady truckers throughout my career. I've been in this shit for like what, just over 4 years now. And like I said, it was like three lady truckers, three female truckers that I met. Got their number, got to know them a little bit, and yeah, it didn't nothing panned out with either of them because as I got to know them, I was like, you know what, this chick is just as bad as some fucking incel. I mean, she's socially awkward. She isn't really pleasant to be around. You know what I mean? And is kind of a fucked up friend. And actually, all three of these chicks were like telling me a lot that they like just being on their own. You know what I mean? Even though they were like trying to date and shit, they were just all fucked up. And you know what? I've met quite a trucker dudes that are just all fucked up. But you know what else? I've been hitting because, like I said, because I can't like go out all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't like go to sports games and go to social events all the time because I'm always at work. I've been hitting Facebook dating pretty hard. That shit's popping. That shit's definitely popping, dude. Tinder, I was on Tinder. I think Tinder's kind of dead. I don't think anyone really uses Tinder now. Tinder, it's like a lot of bots, a lot of fake accounts, a lot of dead accounts. Like a lot of chicks have a Tinder, and it's really either like they made it and they just don't use the shit, or they use it just to funnel followers to their Instagram, and sometimes from there to their OnlyFans or whatever. But Facebook dating, I think it's because of the way that Facebook kind of vets its users. Yeah, there's bots on Facebook, but on the dating thing, it's like an extra vetting. So you got to get vetted to make a Facebook account. Then you get vetted again to make a Facebook dating account that's attached to your profile somehow, right? So when you're on Facebook dating, guys, you're really matching with real people. Like these aren't fake accounts. These aren't dead accounts because they're like active users. Dude, I've been matching with so many chicks, dude. Like last night I was talking to this sexy little black chick, dude, banging, right? And she was just a cool ass person. She was just hella cool. And what, like 2 nights before that, I was on the phone with this Latina chick. We're gonna probably get something cracking on my next day off. And I really want to line something up with this black girl, dude. She's banging, right? Beautiful girl, you know? And here's the thing, like say nothing pans out. Like last time I was on Facebook dating, I ended up with this Peruvian chick. God, dude, she was like a 10. It didn't work out, right? But at the same time, the way that I look at it when like dating chicks when it doesn't work out is that I still got my practice in. I was still socializing because, like I said, I'm a truck driver, so I don't get to socialize a lot like I want to. I'm an extrovert. So it's important for you guys to not lose that bone in your body, that muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. Socializing. Some of you guys that get into trucking are introverts. Some of you guys and girls, and some of you guys and gals, or whatever the fuck, right? Men and women who get into trucking, some of you guys are socially awkward. Like you're not an extrovert like me, and there's nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, no, fuck that. There is something wrong with that, um, because like, dude, most socially awkward people that I've met and introverts that I've met, deep down, most of them don't want to be like that. Most of them wish that they could have friends and go out and talk to people and have friends to go out with, but because I don't know, they're just all fucked up. They don't have friends. They don't know how to make friends, right? Sometimes it's their personality. Like I said, dude, some of these trucker girls that I've met, some of them just had like just fucked up personalities. They're just people that you just wouldn't want to be around. You know what I mean? And like I said, as I got to know these three chicks, and it was at different stages in my trucking career, it was like the same. It was like the end result. The answer was the same. I was like, oh, okay. No wonder why you're single. You're gonna probably die single. Like, yeah, you're not much to date or even be a friend, or to even just be friends with. I know it sounds fucked up, but dude, I'm saying that to say this. Some of you guys are like that too. right? And whoever's watching this, if you're socially awkward, if you don't know how to socialize, if you have a fucked up personality, if you just have trouble meeting people and just existing in the world, because in the world to exist, you need to exist with people. You need to, work with people, get to know people. Like, you don't live this life just 100% on your own, dude. People, we make the world go round. And the stronger, then the bigger your social circle is, which sometimes means that you're going to have fake people in your social circle. Sure. But these, fake people, friends and real people or whatever, just a big social circle. Dude, I've gotten jobs just because of friends that have told me, like, hey, my job's hiring, or hey, this job's hiring, or whatever, or hey, I could get you into this job or whatever. Dude, I've gotten job. Like, my first job, I got it because of my homeboy, like back in Oakland. You know what I mean? And a lot of the women that I've met in my life has been because of friends or whatever. Like, it's so good to have a wingman when you go out, like when you are going to go out clubbing or whatever. It's so good to have friends that are just women, to have homegirls that you're not really trying to date or sleep with, because she introduces you to her girlfriends, especially if she's like a really good looking chick. Like, pretty girls are usually friends with other like pretty women. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a homegirl, dude, I've had homegirls like try to hook me up with like a few of their friends and shit. It's almost a better way to go about dating. It's just have your girlfriends who are not really your girlfriends, who are just your friends that are chicks, hook you up. How are you going to do any of that if you're an introvert? How are you going to do any of this shit if you don't know how to socialize? If you're socially awkward, if you like to ostracize yourself, if you like to just be alone, and then you take it a step further and you become a truck driver. Now you're alone in your truck. So now your introversion, you just wanting to be left alone. Yeah, you're going to be left alone. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to get old and you're going to die alone, dude. And that's what happens, right? It's so bad if you come into this as an introvert, because trucking just turns you into that much more of an introvert, right? What I recommend in trucking is pretty simple, right? This could happen in any job. Any job could take over your life, but trucking is like one of the worst, because you're always at work and you're always gone and you're always in your truck. I mean, yeah, now I'm in hotels or whatever. Um, Run dedicated. Don't If you don't have to do OTR, don't do that shit. I'm getting paid the same amount of money that someone is making on OTR, but I'm dedicated. I'm pretty much local. I can go home whenever I want. I choose to stay out, and I have set days off. I've been out for the past 2 weeks, but I've kind of offered. Right now, my account needs a lot of help. You know what I mean? We got a lot of work. We're kind of overworked right now, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll stay out. You know what I mean? But it's not like I'm out for 3 or 4 or 5 months and I come home like once every 3 to 4 months for a 34-hour reset. Then I go back out, or I come back and I take 3 days off, but I've been gone for the past 3 or 4 months. You know, guys, like I said, if you are like me and you're in a situation to where you can't get out, hop on Facebook dating or some of these dating apps at the bare minimum. Even if like seriously, match with the chick that you're really not attracted to, just so you could talk to her, right? Because some of you guys just need practice, and women too, right? Like, if you're a chick, match with like some big old porker dude that you're really not interested in, just so you can learn how to talk to people. Some of you guys, and some of you men and women, people, some of you guys just need to learn how to talk. Some of you guys are just so fucked up that you guys have no social skills. I've ran into a lot of these people, man. And if you don't exercise your social skills and work on it, that's really working on yourself, is getting out of your shell. Then you're just going to get deeper into your shell in trucking, and that's not a good thing, dude. That's not good for your mental health. This is why people get depressed. This is why people just sit in their truck and just eat food all day. How do you think, like, some of these truckers that are just so fucking crazy big, how do you think that happens? How do you think that happens? Because they're fucking miserable, they're lonely, they're ostracized, they ostracize themselves. It's self ostracism, and then they're just in their truck eating and watching Netflix or playing video games, just eating food all fucking day. Even when they drive, you drive and you got your little snacks right there. then you go to the sleeper and you eat some more, and then you go to sleep and you wake up and do it again. That's no way to live your life. That's definitely no way to live your life. Do not let this job take over your life, because it will if you allow it, right? Put yourself out there, take care of yourself, right? I put on, like, dude, so I was doing good for a second, right? Going to the gym, working out. Now that I'm out and I'm not at the gym anymore, I think I put on at least like 5 pounds, dude. I did, because I was eating like shit and I wasn't grocery shopping for, like, dude, I'm so carb sensitive, and like, just, yeah, like when I'm in a calorie surplus. So, like, dude, I hate skinny dudes that could be in a calorie surplus and they'll gain like half a pound. Me, dude, I'll blow the fuck up. So now I've been eating like healthy, like oatmeal in the morning, fruit. Like, literally, when I wake up, all I'll have is like a bowl of lentil soup, an apple, and that's pretty much all I'll eat until I get off and I have breakfast right now before I go to bed, because I work nights or whatever. But, dude, that's a start. Some of you guys are in your truck eating like microwave burritos, chips, soda, all fucked up energy drinks. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys are just really just, you're killing yourself in your truck for this money. I would rather be a broke motherfucker with like living off of EBT and, like, I don't know, just that, and have 6-pack abs and be living on my mom's couch and be just a broke motherfucker, but I still got my health, rather than to be a morbidly, just like really obese, unhealthy person that has a lot of money. But, like, I'd rather be a broke dude on the couch than Harvey Weinstein, just for example, just a nasty slob like that. But you got some money, right? To me, none of that money means shit if your health is in the shitter, right? None of that money means nothing, right? And especially on top of that, if I'm really like fat and obese, and then you take it a step further and I don't even know how to socialize with people, that's a recipe for disaster, right? So do not let this job take over your life. Don't let it happen, because it can and it will. Take care of yourself out here. Get off of OTR, right? Just get off of that shit. You don't need to run OTR. Let AI do OTR. Fuck that shit, right? Get home. Run dedicated. Run local. Run regional, to where you could at least get home on set days throughout the week. Yeah, every now and then you're gonna have to stay out, but it's better than being out for months at a time, dude. I'm telling you, dude. Some of these people that I've met out here in trucking, it's no wonder they have no friends, and they're gonna make it worse by staying out there, right, dude? You know, these chicks that I've been talking to on Facebook dating, it's great, right? Talking to a lot of women. There's a lot of good women out there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good people out there. There's a lot of good people for you to meet and socialize with. Don't just isolate yourself in your truck like that. For real. That's just a bad way to live your life. You know? My problem is I'm always on the road. So to set up dates, for me, it's kind of complicated. But when I do set up dates, I go on nice dates. Like, I take these chicks out on like very nice dinners if I can, like when I have the time, like a weekend getaway, shit like that. That's so much better than just being stuck in your truck and playing fucking video games. So think about that. There's people out there that the past few years, they've just been in their truck at truck stops the entire time for the past few years. Some like 10, 20 years, but they got money. Money's just paper. Yeah, it's good to have money. You're an adult. You need to be a responsible adult and, take care of yourself financially, right? That's good. But, dude, it's not, the end all be all. It's not everything. There's so much more to life than just money, right? Trucking is a good way to make money. I've been working really hard. I've been making a lot more money now. Most of it's going towards debt, and bills and shit. But once I'm out of debt, I'll be saving up more money and shit. But I'm not going to let this job take over my life, and you shouldn't do that either. And with that being said, be sure to smash the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel. I hope this was a good conversation here. I think it's really important. Do not let trucking take over your life, because it can and it will if you let it. Peace out.